Hey, fan family, welcome to another episode of Real Talk. On today's episode, we've got Caden Labay. Caden is the vice president of the Liberty Hill fishing team. And we sit down and we talk about competition, high school fishing competition. We talk about leadership. We talk about the Liberty Hill fishing team. We just got a real good insight from a accomplished student angler. But we're also going to dive a little bit about faith on the water. And he really does share his take on how God interacts with him as they're fishing and in life. And then we're out at Lake Belton with the Texas High School Bass Fishing Tournament winners. We've got the top 3 winners, and we're going to talk about their winning strategies and just the great results at that event. So thank you for joining us, and we'll see you on the water.
Faith Angler Network, Real Talk, where faith, fishing, and friendships come together.
Welcome to Real Talk, everybody. Jeff Cook here in the studio with a great young man, Caden Labay, vice president of the Liberty Hill fishing team. Caden and I are going to talk about leadership, competition, living out our faith on the water as it relates to high school fishing. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
You bet. So first things first, tell us, who is Caden?
My name is Caden Labay. Like you said, I'm the vice president on the Liberty Hill fishing team. I've been fishing on the Liberty Hill fishing team since 7th grade. I've lived in Liberty Hill my whole life and have a passion for fishing and love it and want to do nothing else.
So what else? What are your other passions?
I love hunting. I bow hunt. I love bass fishing. I love hanging out with my family. I love hanging out with my church family as well.
Very good. Very good. So you are the vice president. Is there a royalty? Am I approaching this professionally enough? No. With the Liberty Hill fishing team. So I know there's a nomination process, and tell us a little bit about how that looks for Liberty Hill fishing team and how you got the nomination.
How that works is at the end of the year and a couple of our last meetings, we can nominate different people who we think would fit that role really well. And then we have a voting process where everyone goes through and votes on who they think it would fit the best. Then that's our student board for the upcoming years. We do that with the students as well as the adults.
Yeah. And you won the nomination for vice president. Who else is on the board?
My president, Eric Walker, our secretary, Barrett Gray, our treasurer, Bo Quick, our historian, Chandler Katkowski, and middle school representative, Parker Katkowski.
Yeah, great. You have a middle school representative, which is really neat. So
Yes,
we are a 6 through 12. So it's really neat that they bring in a representative to represent the middle schools. So we love that. It's a great concept. So you have a board of leaders and you're a leader. How do you help your teammates with that leadership, or how do you lead and help them build a team culture?
We have many ways we lead. One of them being we represent and we actually lead our meetings. I know Mr. Cook has been to a couple of them and has seen how it goes, but us board members, we put on the meeting, we help put stuff in the script and go throughout it and talk about our past events and upcoming events. And a couple other ways is we go through at our community events and represent really well. And we also lead by example for the younger students who are just coming in on how these tournaments work, how we're supposed to represent our school, how we represent at the community events. And
yeah, very good. Tell us a little bit about the Liberty Hill fishing team. How did it get started, and just how you got to where you are today? You're one of the larger programs in the Hill Country. So
yes, sir. Our Liberty Hill fishing team was founded by Casey Tolbert in 2018. It started actually as a memorial to carry on the legacy of a student in our community who had passed away. Um, Cade Riley, also known as Red, and after Red passed, he had a passion for fishing, he had a passion for helping others and helping his community and being a part of it, and Casey Tolbert, a close friend of the Riley family, thought it would be a great opportunity to carry on his legacy by starting a fishing team because that's what Cade would have wanted, and that's what Cade would wanna see throughout the community, so he started that. It grew bigger and bigger and bigger, and now Casey has also passed away, and it is our job now to continue on the Liberty Hill fishing team and carry on both of their legacy and continue with the morals that they wanted and they created.
Yeah, I knew Casey, got to know him when the program first started. I think I was at one of the very first meetings, and he really did a phenomenal job of spearheading the Liberty Hill fishing team. He was a joy and, dearly missed. And, also, the Riley family and, Amanda and Michael and what they do with the, um, the foundation and the Rip and Lips for Red event, and we're very, grateful and support them and, appreciate y'all as well. So, great program. Tell us, now let me gonna switch gears on you for a minute. Um, we're a competitive fishing trail, right? We have scholarships. We do all of the prizes. You earn points. I mean, it's competitive. So tell me how you prepare for, an event mentally, spiritually, strategically. Yeah, easy for me to say.
Strategically, we start off by, of course, rig rods, we get the boat ready, we get our for the overnight tournaments, which are my favorite, we all go in as a team together, we stay in our VRBOs and things like that together, and it's a great experience, we rig rods and help out and cook and watch football and just hang out as a family. Mentally, um, I do my very best to sit down and remember why I'm there and how it's so much more than just fishing and the positive mental attitude. I use that every single day on the boat. Gerald Swindle, a great influence. And spiritually, praying before every tournament and
Mhm.
because there's plenty of times to be frustrated out there on the water, but just remembering why you're there and it's so much more than fishing and how great of an opportunity it is to be able to be out there in God's creation for all day on the water and lots of time to reflect on it.
Yeah, and I agree. The one thing that I love is even for the fan staff, and we get together the night before, typically, not always, but we just have that moment of just us time just to sit down and enjoy each other and fellowship, and I know y'all do that, and in some cases, many clubs are all in the same,
Mhm.
like if they're at a lodge and there may be several teams, and so it becomes even a bigger area. But what about practice? What is your thought about practice? How much practice do you do? And what does that look like? Do you try to catch fish or you just try to, mark fish? What does that look like?
Practice Lots of people have lots of different opinions on practice. In my opinion, practice is most important for confidence more than anything. Of
Mm.
course, you don't want to go catch all the fish the day before, but if you have confidence going into the tournament on one bait and more confidence you have, the more strategically you're going to fish, the more time you're going to spend with that one bait that you know can catch fish. So confidence is key. And I feel like that's what practice builds rather than just going into it with 25 rods on the deck and switching between them every 5 minutes.
Yeah, and so, tell me about this because this happened to me more times than I care to remember. I'm practicing, and I think I figured out, kind of a pattern, maybe a backup pattern. I think I've
Mhm.
identified something, so I have some confidence. Show up in the morning, first cast, that pattern's not coming together. I mean, what do you do then? How do you handle that kinda quick pivot, and how long do you take to decide I need to change?
Yeah, for sure. So, I mean, it's almost like clockwork every single time you think you have a pattern, a storm rolls through the night of. But I usually, of course, if I had a pattern, I'll start the morning with that pattern. but still have lots of other rods in the deck for lots of different techniques and different things like in the rod lockers. And if it's not working, I just start trying something until I pick one or two fish up and then stay with that. But of course, throughout the day, I keep trying what I originally had a pattern on because maybe just because they didn't bite that morning, they'll bite it that afternoon. So just staying moving until you once you get a pattern though, I think it's pretty important to stick with it.
Yeah, yeah. And you and your partner, do you have a dedicated partner for the year?
I have a dedicated partner for Fan in Central Texas, which is my little brother, which it's a great experience to be able to be on the water with my dad and my little brother. And for he's a middle schooler, and for Texas High School Bass, I do have another dedicated partner for that one. So
Okay.
yes, sir.
And is it, different with each one, how you guys
It
plan and practice and even how you fish together, right?
It
Is
is
that
a little bit differently when just who has what role when we fish and just respecting on who does better in what areas. For example, my partner for Texas High School Bass can skip a whole lot better than I can, so he's in the front of the boat when we fish. My little brother, usually I run the trolling motor, and traveling, I mean, it doesn't make a whole lot of like, it doesn't change a whole lot because it's pretty cool. Because my partner for Texas High School Bass, his little brother is his partner for Fan in Central Texas, so we all still travel together no matter what, but
I
yes,
love
sir.
that. I mean, you guys identified strengths and weaknesses,
Mhm.
and you really emphasize that how you approach a day. And does that change lake by lake for you? So every lake is a little bit different. Some have a
Mhm.
whole lot of docks, some don't. So that's how you decide. All right, you're on the front of the boat. You're going to be skipping, and I'm just going to be back in the back, dragging a Carolina rig or something like that.
For sure, it does change lake to lake, and it also change within the moment, like,
Oh yeah,
a lot of the time, if someone's running the troll motor and you catch a fish, we spend so much time on the water together, we understand as soon as you set the hook, one person steps back, and the next person's already on the trolling motor, and, I mean, it does change between lake to lake, but it's also just right in the moment, and just having that respect and that understanding
yeah.
for each other.
And do you think it's or what are the pros and cons of having a dedicated partner versus fishing with different people during the year or throughout the course of, maybe a couple of different seasons?
The pros and cons, I truly think having a dedicated partner is the best, like, the best thing ever. I see the benefit of having lots of other partners. You get to meet lots of people, have great experiences with everyone, teach lots of different people different things, but having a dedicated partner is awesome because you just you get to the point where you know what they're thinking on the boat, they know what you're thinking. You're so comfortable to go travel with them. It's like family when you go to travel, and
Yeah.
it's just a great understanding in the respects on the boat because everyone has their own rules on the boat,
Mhm.
depending on whose boat you're on, and just
Yeah.
having good understanding for each other.
Well, I know there are several schools of thought about that. I know there's a when I fished in a club tournament environment, I loved being able to be on a different fish with different people because I learned so much. I really learned more when I fished with a big jig fishing guy, and I said,
Mhm.
"All right, we're gonna fish with a jig today, and better learn it." So I love that. To me, that's a pro as well, but in a competitive situation, I can see the benefit of that. So I
Mhm.
think it could go both way. Well, however your club orchestrates it, there's really no right or wrong answer, I guess. It's just have fun. I know it is competitive, and so, everybody wants to take home the bling and the prizes and get to the championship. So, well, tell us about a memorial tournament that stands out to you.
My most memorable tournament, and the thing that stands out most to me out of any other tournaments I've ever had, was probably one of the most eye-opening experiences I've ever had. It was back-to-back tournaments. One of them was on Fan with at Buchanan, and that was probably my worst tournament the entire year. Didn't catch a single keeper. Couldn't We caught lots of fish, but not a single keeper, and it was a struggle. We came out of that tournament embarrassed to not have any fish. We were, of course, had our head hanging low, and we went in the next weekend. We sat down, me and my dad, and that both of those tournaments I fished with my little brother, and my dad is my captain, and we talked through it, and, like, we gotta completely let go of the Buchanan tournament, don't even think about it, and start Waco for Central Texas new. And we had pre-fish, but it wasn't a super productive pre-fishing. So we didn't even wanna think about it, we just wanted to go in and do what we knew how to do, and we went in, caught a fish early on top water, and it wasn't until about noon or 1 o'clock before we caught our second fish, and my little brother, just out of the blue, snagged a 5-pounder in an area we didn't fish at all
I think
pre-fishing.
he strategically targeted that 5-pounder just in case he's listening.
Yes, sir, and then we fished in there a little bit and nothing, and then we went back where we caught our top water fish and nothing. We were like, "Alright, we're gonna finish the day in that one spot," and we ended up catching the rest of our limit and cold out for almost 14 pounds right there and won second place for the tournament. It was just a great eye opener on never give up because within the last hour, we finished off our bag and got up to 14 pounds.
Yeah, that's neat. And again, it's, there's it's real easy when you're having a tough day on the
Mhm.
water to want to call it. And I guess since, you have to just kind of bear it out. Now, I mean, I know there's times when boat motors and there's all kinds of things that might happen. You got to be kind of strategic about how you manage to get to the weigh in. But I think never give up. That's the Iaconelli
For
thing, right?
sure, fish to the last second because you never know what's gonna I mean, we've got our last keeper for the day within the last 5 minutes, so
So, and just on that topic, I think it might be helpful. So, when you say fish until the last second, because you have a specific time you have to be in the
Mhm.
weigh-in line, do you plan like when your last cast is based on where you are? So, you're thinking, I got a 12-minute boat ride to get back to the dock. This is my last cast. And how do you stop one more cast, one more cast?
For sure, because it is tempting to say one more cast, and then time gets away from you, and the worst feeling would be showing up to weigh in with a 20-pound bag and not being able to weigh in your fish, but, so we think about where we're at on the lake, and we'll have a conversation before because we always kinda know this is a spot we're gonna finish at because, 1, it's either close to weigh in, or we have pretty good chance on trying to catch our kicker, and, so we'll strategically plan that when we show up. We set a time like when it's this time, lines are out. Some tournament trails like Texas High School Bass, it's lines out at a specific time, and then you have a certain amount of time to go to the ramp. But
Right.
for the ones where there is no lines out, but it's show up at weigh-in, be in line by this time, we do set a specific lines out for ourselves so we don't get caught up in the moment.
Yeah, it's easy to do.
It is.
And you're right. That is kind of it's frustrating because there's penalties for being late. Um, let's switch gears and talk a little bit about faith on the water. And it's where faith meets fishing. And first of all, do you have a favorite scripture?
I do. My favorite Bible verse is Philippians 4:13, and it's, "I can do all things through him who strengthens me," and I carry that with me every day, not just in bass fishing, but in school, in any tough situations in life. Just remembering that is a great opportunity to, like, realize why you're doing what you're doing, and it's not about you, it's about him.
Man, that yeah, it's hard in the flesh for us to maintain that. We're here because of a great creator, and the heavens declare the glory of God, the skies proclaim the work of his hands, and that's Psalm 19:1. And that's what I think when I'm on the water, and I say, wow, just look at this great creation. And it's somewhat we want everyone to take a moment and pause and just be at awe of the mystery of our creator. So how has your faith influenced your approach to competition?
My faith has influenced my approach by not getting caught up in the moment and the frustrations. Of course, there's always frustrations on the boat, but when you get in that frustrated spot and then you realize like, wow, I'm frustrated, but I'm sitting here on the boat in the middle of a lake getting to fish. Like there's nothing else I'd rather be doing. I'm getting to enjoy God's creation. It just keeps you with that, like I said earlier, that positive mental attitude, which is very important in bass fishing because when you're thinking positive and you're staying focused is when you're fishing methodically and not just going through the motions.
Yeah, yeah. Have you ever had a moment where you really felt God teaching you something during a tournament?
I have, and it was in the middle of one of my frustrations, whether that's losing a big fish and then realize I need to control my emotions. I don't need to get caught up. I just need to get back in there because there's probably another one right behind it. Or whether that's getting in an argument with my little brother on the boat because it happens on the boat for 7 hours. But it he puts many opportunities in front of us to be able to show our strengths and
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I know I spent some time with Clark Wendland on the boat, and he's very, very much a big proponent of the positive mental attitude. And I asked him kind of the same question. He says everything teaches you something, and whether you catch a fish, what did you learn in that moment? What was it associated with? What was the current direction? All these pieces that help him put it in his mental bank. If he loses a fish, what was that? And so everything on that he's doing in a practice or a tournament, he's taking that note, but he's not taking it like it's not negative. There's
Mhm.
never oh yeah, that would have been a great fish. Well, what did I learn? Keep moving forward.
And for sure, like, to add to that, if you were all caught up in the frustration of losing that fish or caught up that the current wasn't going in the right direction or caught up about the wind and you're not truly paying attention to what that could mean moving forward and you lose track of it, that's crucial information you're missing out on. So always, always staying focused on it and don't getting caught up because you get frustrated and you just going through the motions and not paying attention, you'll miss out on the clues that can lead to a great day of fishing.
Yeah, and just we're doing something. I mean, look, this is a great thing. God gave us this great resources to go enjoy his creation. So it's a huge blessing. And not being able to take it, get all upset if you don't have a good day. I mean, look, you're out here in God's creation. You're doing something that isn't just readily available to so many people. And we should have gratitude about that
For
too.
sure.
So it is a huge blessing. Um, what makes the Liberty Hill fishing team culture special?
What makes our Liberty Hill fishing team culture so special is goes back to the story I talked about earlier with Red Riley and Casey Tolbert and why we're doing what we're doing. We're not just here to bass fish. We're here to reach out to the community and carry on their legacy. And another thing that makes our team so special is our sponsors. You can see the sponsors on my jersey or sponsors on our trailer, on our Facebook, on our website. If it weren't for our sponsors, we wouldn't be able to
Yeah,
do anything as a club.
absolutely.
So we have a super, super supportive team of sponsors. Our community, like how we reach out to our community and our volunteer events, I think that's really important too. And how hard we work to get every single kid on the water. We we do every single thing we can to try and reach out to different people from the community that have fished for us in the past and their kids have graduated, try and get them back and volunteer their time and captain. And we work really hard as a club to get everyone out there and carry on Red and Casey Tolbert's legacy, and also how involved our student board is rather than just the adults leading it. Our students, I mean, we went out and we got all of our sponsors this year.
Mhm.
We drove around as a board and visited door to door each spot in Liberty Hill asking for sponsors, and it gets you out of your comfort zone. But it was really, really rewarding seeing how many sponsors we got this year. So I think that's what's really cool about Liberty Hill. Us
Yeah.
students put in a whole lot of work to get everything done.
Yeah, it's a great program, not just group a great group of young leaders, middle, high school, what you do for the community, how you represent the community is really good. So it's a great program. How can they find you guys on the interwebs?
You can find us on our Liberty Hill fishing team Facebook, and we also have a Liberty Hill fishing team website. You can go on there. You can see our calendar, tournament results, our Angler of the Year standings. You can read more about our story, like I talked about earlier, that goes more into depth about Casey Tolbert and Cade Riley. And it's a really cool story if you want to go look at it.
Very
I'd,
cool.
I'd appreciate it if you did.
Yeah, I definitely wanna. We'll try to get the link up to the Cade Riley Memorial Foundation, if I'm saying that right. Okay, quick fire. Favorite lure?
My favorite lure would be a shaky head.
Dream lake to fish.
There's a lot, but I want to go back to OHIV. That was a great lake.
OHIV, okay. Biggest bass.
Probably a 6-pounder.
Where'd you catch it?
It was in one of the ponds at my ranch.
Okay, probably doesn't count then. But
No, sir, probably
the
doesn't.
question was legit. Biggest bass, you answered. My bad. Favorite pro angler.
Favorite pro angler, and Clay Dyer.
Very cool. Yeah, Clay, phenomenal speaker at our banquet. Very cool. Good, good, good. So Man, I appreciate you coming in and chatting with us, and to the fan family out there. And I want to thank you for that. And I appreciate what you're doing in the Liberty Hill fishing team, everyone there. Um, Great work. And any final comments you want to share with the fan family out there?
I just wanted to thank y'all for the opportunity to be able to come on and talk about the Liberty Hill fishing team and represent it.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right. Thanks for joining this episode of Real Talk. Shout out to everybody coming up. We've got more exciting things and more interviews. If you want to be part of the podcast, let us know. We'd love to talk to you, young student anglers. Hope you loved that interview with Caden. Next, we're going to go out to Belton Lake with the Texas High School Bass Association. Top 3 winners for you. Some really good interviews. Check it out. Hey, fan family, we are out here on Lake Belton, Texas High School Bass Fishing Qualifier number 2, right here. First place team representing Lee High School?
Lee County High School.
Lee County High School. Tell everybody your name and go down the list. And I'm going to just ask you some questions. Does that sound good?
I'm Bristol Boyd. I go to Giddings High School.
Caden Schnell, I go to Giddings High School.
Okay, so all are from Giddings, but you represent Lee County.
Yes, sir.
Very, very cool. How many people are in your program?
There's quite a few. I think there's 7 or 8 different teams.
Yeah, you guys represent really, really well. So great finish. What was your catch today? What'd you have?
We got 1389.
Okay.
And with a second big bass, 455 smallmouth, which is the youth lake record.
Lake youth record. How much?
455.
455 smallmouth. That is a youth water body record on Lake Belton. Congratulations.
Yes,
That'll
sir.
be
Thank you.
cool. So first question is, did you guys have a strategy that you came out here with, and were you able to execute it at all?
Well, we kind of came out here a little unprepared. We didn't get to come free fishing and stuff, but we had some memory from last year and everything. And then I had a football game last night, and so we came up here pretty early in the morning.
Oh,
We left
okay.
about 3 o'clock.
Okay, so you're ready for a nap, huh?
Yes, sir.
All right, we'll hand it over here to take care. So obviously this is a team sport, right? And how do you guys prepare together, and how is working as a team make y'all better?
We kind of just talk about like our plan and what we plan on doing, and then we try to go out and execute the best we can and help each other out and stuff like that.
Okay. So any special tactics today? What was your go-to bait, and did you have to alternate? How did you prepare from a bait perspective?
We kind of just came out here and we could see some blowing up, so we threw a little bit of top water, caught most of our fish on top water, and then we threw a chatterbait, caught quite a few on a chatterbait too. We had our limit pretty early this morning.
All right. So back to you. What was that same for you? Any specific
Yeah.
bait, technique that you want to? Easy for
Yeah,
me to say.
we threw the top water and we got our limit pretty fast, and then we were just kind of going up and down where we were catching them at, and probably went up and down that bank probably 15 times, catching 1 or 2, and then cold a few times, and
Yeah.
ended up pretty good.
And what did you catch the smallmouth on?
Top water, buzzbait actually.
Oh, wow. Wow. Very, very cool. Who was your captain today?
His dad,
What's his name?
Randy Schnell.
Randy Schnell. Well, very good. So great job. First place team. What was the weight again?
1389.
1389. Good job, y'all.
Sir, thank you.
Thank you. All right. Second place team. Second place last time on marble, right? Y'all snuck out before we could get this interview. So I'm really happy y'all got in on this one. So right now, you guys are looking really good for AOY points, I'm guessing, right? Good stuff. So we're out here at Westlake. State your name.
Reese Elliott. I'm Gray Cedars. Brad Elliott.
Captain Brad. All right, what was your weight today?
I think we had 1382.
You guys were neck and neck with the first place team. Very, very cool. All right, so you represent Westlake fishing team. Very cool. So, couple of questions. Now, when you get ready for a tournament, you put a strategy together.
Yes, sir.
Okay, tell me what your strategy was coming out today, and did it change while you were on the water?
Well, we'd pre-fished the last 2 weekends, which helped a lot, and then definitely looking at a lot of satellite images of Belton and kind of the banks helped us a lot today.
Yeah, it was just
Vote
we were
103
one fight
through
away just to
Vandergrift.
win, and just it hurts. We had one on that would have won.
Got it. So same question. Hold on to it. So it's a team sport, right? And so how do you guys work together as a team to do these really good top finishes? So back to back top 2 finishes. What's your strategy and how do you work together?
I just kind of getting on each other every fishing day.
I got to check in, but
Okay.
got it.
All right. He's got to go check in.
High School.
All right. So what was the most challenging part of today?
I would say the 2-hour stretch where we really didn't get any bites, and the bites that we did get, we missed or broke off was probably the most challenging part today. You just in those times just kind of have to push through, keep going, and then ended up getting second.
Yeah, congrats. So let me ask you, and you guys can talk about this. What was your tip today? What tactic or what bait worked best for you?
We're throwing the shaky head, and the shaky head is the best.
All right.
We also caught a big one on the crank right off the start, and we're just a couple on the jerk bait, but mainly shaky head.
Deep or shallow?
Ledges on the ledges.
You guys got to go.
Yes, sir.
They got to go.
All right.
Congratulations. We will see
Thank
you on the water. Thank you.
Sir.
And wrapping up the top 3 teams out here are representing St. Joseph's fishing team. Tell us your name.
My name's Hunter Watson, and this is
Lane Wishwell.
All right. What was your weight today?
we had 1331.
So all top 3 teams were in the 13-pound range.
Yes, sir.
Wow. How it's pretty impressive.
Yes, sir.
All right. So you guys represent
St. Joe.
St. Joseph's. And where are you guys located at?
We are located in Victoria, Texas.
So you guys probably got the longest car drive of the day, right? So
Yes, sir.
What time did you get here this morning? Or what time did you leave to get here, I guess? Or did you stay the night?
We stayed the night, but we stayed over at Steelhouse. So we had a 30-minute drive here.
Not bad. Well, all the way from Victoria.
Yes,
And so that's quite of a trip. So tell us today, I got a few questions I want to ask you, and I lost my notes, and I'm a professional here. So I ask everybody this. You came out, you kind of have a built-in strategy. You have a game plan for today, and you get out on the water. Tell us what your strategy was, and if it held true, or did you have to change and pivot during the day?
I mean, at the start, we started on rock walls and with top water, and then once that sun came out, we started throwing a DT6. And then later in the day, when this bite slowed down, we had to switch to a jig.
What kind of jig?
Just a big little finesse half-ounce jig.
Half ounce. Okay. How deep?
What do you
6
think?
to 12, 6 to 12 feet of water, somewhere in there.
What about you? Do you agree with that? You want to add anything else to it?
One of us is most of the time. One of us was cranking, and the other one was
go closer to it.
One of us was cranking, and the other one was sitting or in the back of the boat throwing a jig.
So you were moving fast and kind of
someone slowing down. Yes, sir.
Most of your bites came on which bait?
It was kind of...
Had a lot more on a cranking, but we had some better bites on the jig.
Okay. I know they're getting ready to call you guys up, but what was the most challenging moment of your day?
And Braxton from Marble
Probably
Falls
sitting for 2 hours, not catching a single
Yeah,
fish.
midday. Had a slow afternoon. Good morning, good end of the day, but that middle of the day was tough.
Okay. So is there anybody you want to thank or recognize for your day on the water? And you can say it and then pass the mic to him.
Well, his dad being our captain, my parents for coming and
What's the
supporting us.
captain's name?
Mr. Mark Watson.
Okay. We want to thank.
I probably have to thank Rapala for their crankbait.
Y'all are going to
that,
receive
not much. Skeeter boats to get us around, and Minn Kota, the Garmins.
All right.
That big player today.
Well, that's your top 3 out here on Lake Belton, Texas High School Bass Fishing. Go get your plaques and your hardware. Thank you, guys. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Wow. Thank you, Caden, for your really, really solid interview. Thank you for the inspiration, and thank you for just the tips and techniques and how you structure the club and how you guys work together. I think everyone will truly have found that to be very informative and inspirational. And, I love, Caden, how you use your faith as a way to motivate you, keep you focused on, really grounded in in the competition in what we're doing here, and have fun with it. So thank you so much for that, and thank you, Liberty Hill. And wrapping up what we saw from the Texas High School Bass Association, man, it was super close. The top three teams in the 13-pound range. Lee County first place with a youth body record, a smallmouth that weighed 4.5 pounds. That's a memory right there that won't soon be forgotten. And Westlake, great job, guys. Back-to-back second place finishes, and St. Joseph coming in with a good, solid third place. So keep up the great work, everyone. We're going to be back out here interviewing you, sharing the good news, and sharing the good times on the water. God bless. Thanks for watching this episode of Real Talk, where faith, family, and fishing come together. This episode was brought to you by Shimano USA, Quality Fishing Tackle.